My name is Teacher Vivian, and I work at the Hurley site for Options Full Day Preschool. Today we are going to read a story, and in the story, the word peddler comes out a lot. Let's see if we could find out what this means. The story is called Caps for Sale. It's a tale about a peddler and some monkeys and their monkey business. It was told and illustrated by Esphyr Slobodkina. Once there was a peddler who sold caps. He was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on his head. First, he had on his own check cap, and then a bunch of brown caps, blue caps, and red caps on the very top. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so not to upset his caps. What would happen if he didn't stand up straight with all those caps on his head? If he were to bend his head sideways, what can happen to all those caps? Right, they can probably fall down. So as he walked along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap," to see if anybody would like to buy his caps. One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up and down the streets, calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But no one wanted to buy any caps that morning. No one even wanted a red cap. He was starting to feel a bit hungry, but he had no money for lunch. He hadn't sold any of his caps. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said. And he walked out of town, slowly, slowly, not to upset the caps on his head. He didn't want them to fall. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," he said. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own check cap, and then the gray caps, and then the brown caps, and then the blue caps. And what color on the very top? Right, red. Red were on the very top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time, but he had to sleep sitting straight up, closing his eyes, making sure not to move his head so the caps would not fall over. He had to keep them balanced. When he woke up, he was refreshed and restored. He stretched his arms. "Oh, what a good nap," he said. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. First, he felt his own check cap. What do you think he's going to feel next? Nothing. So he looked to the right of him and no caps. He looked to the left and no caps. He looked in the back of him and no caps. He looked behind the tree and there was no caps behind the tree. Where could his caps have gone? Let's find out. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey was a gray, a brown, a blue, and a red cap. Where did those caps go? Right, they went on the monkeys. The peddler looked up at the monkeys, and the monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. I wonder if the monkeys are going to understand. Let's find out. You monkeys, you, he said, shaking his finger at them. You give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, zzz, zzz, zzz. This made the peddler angry. He shook both of his hands and he said, You monkeys, you give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook both of their hands and said, Zzz, zzz, zzz. Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, You monkeys, you give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, Zzz, zzz, zzz. What do you think's happening? What's happening as the peddler's doing something and the monkeys are repeating? What do you think that might be called? Maybe it's some type of imitation or copycat. Monkey see, monkey do. By this time, the peddler was really very angry. He stamped both of his feet and shouted, You monkeys, you give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped both of their feet and said, Zzz, zzz, zzz. At last he became so angry he pulled off his own cap and threw it on the ground and began to walk away. It seems like he got frustrated. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. And what do you think the monkeys are going to do to their caps? Looks like the peddler is looking at them too, thinking, what are they going to do? And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down from the tree. You see all the colors flying down from the tree? The monkeys copied the peddler by throwing their caps onto the ground. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own check cap, and then the gray caps, and then the brown, and then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. See what he did? He stacked them by color. He sorted the browns, the blues, the reds, and the grays, and then he stacked them all on top of his head. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to the town calling, Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. I wonder if he's going to have any luck selling those caps. The end. Thank you for watching and listening to this story. See you next time.